All right. I have to make this video because if I don't talk, I'm gonna lose my shit. And since I can afford therapy, I can afford the damn insurance. So here it is. My pet peeve today, my main problem today, what really grinds my fucking gears today, is entrepreneurs, in quotations, or big people that want to be businessmen that decide to open up a business or start a business or open up a store or a location or a corporation, whatever the fuck you want to call it, without realizing that if you have people working for you, you have to pay them. So, just FYI, if you decide to open up something, make sure that when you open that thing up, you have enough money to pay the employees that you hire. Or don't hire employees at all, do the work yourself. This is what I mean. Two different scenarios. One is a corporate world and one is the nightlife industry. Okay, corporate world. If you provide a service for a company, okay, let's say A and B company hires you to provide a specific service, your company. A and B company hires Beta company to provide a service. A and B company pays Beta to provide that service. Beta hires employees to do the actual service or work. Those workers need to be paid a certain reasonable time, obviously, especially if you have a payroll. If it's payroll check, make sure that there's funds in the account before you hand these people their checks. The worst thing you need is somebody out there bad-mouthing your company and then also having proof by, hey, by the way, these people don't pay or their checks bounce or whatever the hell you want to call it. Especially don't do this to employees who actually see Beta, A and B company pay Beta company. It makes no sense. If you see the person, if the person is working for a company and they actually see the person paying your company to pay you and you still don't have money in your check, there's a problem, obviously, right? So don't do that. Don't hire people if you can't pay them. Do the work yourself. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of entrepreneurs or business people that decided, you know what? I cannot afford to pay somebody, or I'm not going to make a profit if I pay somebody else. I'll just do the work myself. Do this. That's fine. Do it yourself. But do not hire somebody else to do the work for you. And then when it's time to pay them, your paychecks don't work. Don't pan out. Especially when they're payroll checks. If it's a personal check, things happen. But if it's a payroll check with a payroll name and a bank account number on it, and a bank tells you there's no funds in the account, there's a problem. Huge problem, because now you have an employee, not some guy you paid a couple dollars, but an employee that cannot cash their checks. It's even worse when you have plenty or multiple employees that cannot cash their checks because there's just no money in their account. That is the worst thing you can do. It just looks horrible. It's a bad idea. Please don't do it. If you can't afford it, don't hire people. Just do the work yourself. Okay, that's a corporate work. Nightlife industry. I used to manage a couple strip clubs. And, you know, I had, every now and then I had a promoter come through. They went, oh, I want to throw a night here and I want to rent out the night and promoter so I can bring some people. And, you know, we'll split, I'll take the door and you guys take the bar, or we'll split the door, or we'll split the bar, whatever the fuck you want to do. That's whatever. Everybody thinks they're a promoter. Everybody thinks they can do it. Everybody has the best idea ever, even though they're all doing the exact same thing over and over and over again. But if you this is the only promoters that I like. When a promoter will come to me and tell me, okay, how much would it cost to throw a night here? First thing I will say is, what do you mean? Do you mean you're gonna provide your own DJ? And are you providing your own security and or your own entertainers? And they say, oh yeah, I'll bring my own DJ, I got my own DJ, I got my own security, I got my own entertainment. And then my next question was, do you have the money to pay them before the gig? Huge point. If the promoter does not have the money in his pocket to pay the entertainers, the DJ, or the security, whoever's he's gonna hire, do not let that promoter work your venue. Because what they say is, no, we'll collect money at the door, or whatever the hell you broke down with the bar, or whatever, and then at the end of the night, they're gonna split the money and pay who they have to pay. Negative. Why? Because if something happens, rain happens, hailstorm, bad review in the club before, or the DJ, whatever the fuck happens. If something happens and they don't make any money at the door, the DJ, the entertainers, the security get stiffed. And now you have a group of people out there that are not going to badmouth the promoter. They're going to say, oh yeah, we're throwing this night at this club, and they're going to say the venue name, and now there goes your venue down the shithole. So to avoid that situation, your first question is, you want to throw a night? Fantastic. What are you planning on doing? Like, you have your own DJ, your own security, your own entertainers? Great, fine. Second question, right off the bat, do you have the money to pay your DJ, your entertainers, your security before the shift? In other words, is it in your pocket? And if they say no, we're going to pay them at the end of the night, cut them loose, go to the next promoter. It's not worth the aggravation. It's not worth the bad publicity. It's not worth the bullshit that comes from people waiting at night after closing time because the promoter took off with the money, or because the promoter decided, oh, we'll meet tomorrow, and then never gives them their money, or the cash is missing, or cash is or something is low, or somehow you short money. To avoid that situation, when you hire a promoter, first thing, what kind of deal you're gonna do? In other words, DJ, entertainers, or band, whatever the fuck it is. And second, do you have the money in hand right now to pay those promoters? Because that, number one, it tells you it's a promoter that knows what he's doing. That's a professional. That's not gonna make your venue look like shit. And that's probably gonna do return business if you play it right. And number two, it'll also tell you, in other words, it's not a fly-by-night bullshit. And number two is it'll tell you that it'll make them think twice about just saying, well, I'm gonna just do the door, and then when I get paid, I'll just put some money aside. No, if you can't hire people on your own before you even get a venue, in other words, if you can't tell your people, we're gonna work this and I got this money for you, then don't hire them. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Trust me, your venue will survive without a promoter. It is possible to do it. Okay, now I have to do this video because I was just incensed about what I heard the other day. Promoter throw a night at a nightclub, and the DJ didn't get paid. Security, like 2 or 3 security got paid out of the 10, and entertainers are hounding this guy to get their money because they haven't gotten paid. Why? Because the promoter wanted to make his money first, and probably spent half of the money that he got at the door on bottles and drinks throughout the night. And another thing, shit, I forgot all about this. If you're gonna hire a DJ, a promoter, an entertainer for your venue, up front, let them know ahead of time, hey, the drinks are not included. Or, we're including this one bottle of whatever the fuck. Okay? That also, make sure you let them know that bottle of whatever the fuck it is, or that drink of whatever the hell, how many drinks, is for you and like 2 or 3 more people. That's it. Otherwise, you're gonna have everybody's cousin's friend's former boyfriend's roommate driver pass by, talk about, I want to fucking get a drink too. Nobody's buying anything at the bar because these fuckers are getting it for the goddamn DJ or the entertainer or some shit like that. Come on, people, you gotta. It's a business, and y'all acting like this is a hangout. If you want to do a hangout, hey, do that shit at home. Throw a house party, rent party, whatever the fuck it is. But once you get a venue going and you decide, okay, my life is I want to invest in a nightclub, why would you make stupid mistakes like hiring people that don't know what the fuck they're doing? Yeah, you might have to pay a little bit more for people that know what they're doing, but guess what? You get that in return. You get your money and then some back. As opposed to, oh no, my cousin JJ, he has a DJ and he get a promoter. Because he has 100,000 or 2,000 or 55, whatever the fuck number it is on Instagram followers, or because his Snapchat is on fire. Yeah, what the fuck is that got to do with your money in your bar? It doesn't make any. I don't understand. So please, have enough common sense. Number one, if you have a corporate business, a regular 9-to-5 business, what I mean to say, like in other words, a store, or fashion, or retail, whatever it is, make sure that before you hire the people to work there, you're gonna have enough money to pay the people to do the work that they're gonna work. If you don't think you're gonna have the payroll for these people, then don't hire people, do the work yourself. Number two, if you do a nightlife, a night entertainment, nightclub type, strip club, whatever the fuck you wanna do, night venue, and you decide to hire promoters, do not hire promoters that cannot pay the people ahead of time. I don't mean that they have to pay them before the gig, but that they have the money in their pocket. I know for a fact the DJ is going to cost me $200. Well, I have $200 in my pocket. My entertainer is going to cost me about $400 total. Well, I got $400 in my pocket. Security is going to cost me $500. I have $500 in my pocket. 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 2 is $1,100. I have $1,100 before I even shoot the night. Why? Because that way, if I don't make the money at the door for whatever reason, my entertainment, DJ, and security are still covered, and they'll be grateful. Not only that, but they'll be able to call them up in the next time you have a venue or an event, and they'll show up. As opposed to the word spreading, oh no, that guy doesn't like to pay people, or that guy takes off on the money, or don't believe his word. Because a lot of promoters out there, that's the one thing you can hear is, oh yeah, that guy. Why? Because somebody didn't get paid, and all you need is 2 or 3 people to say that you didn't pay him. And now you have to explain, well, what happened was he got drunk. I don't care. It doesn't matter. There's no need to explain something like that. Either they did the job and they got paid, or they didn't do the job and you dismissed them. If you kept them all fucking night, guess what? You gotta pay them. And if your ass decided to let somebody get drunk on shift, which is your responsibility to make sure you don't, that's your problem. Not the person's problem. The person actually has a problem with drinking. You should have seen that shit, cut him the fuck out. But you don't want to because your buddy, he's your cousin, your friend, whatever. Anyway, do not hire people if you cannot afford to pay them. If you cannot afford to pay somebody to perform a service, do the goddamn service yourself. That's it. You save all that aggravation, all the hassle, and at the same time, there's nobody out there bad-mouthing you, and you won't get any bad reputation. That's it. I had to get out of my chest because I heard so many fucking nightmare stories about people from businesses and performers alike, and even employees. And I'm like, who are these people that think they can start a business? They just, well, I saw somebody on TV do, I can do it too. Well, I want to start my own clothing line. I want to start my own shoe design. I want to start my own. Yeah, great, fantastic. Do you have the money for that? No. Raise the money first before you do it. Don't say, well, once I get the sales, I'll be able to pay people. No, because if you don't get the sale, that person still performed the job. And then you end up making it worse for the next person behind you, because then nobody trusts you or your type of business. All right? So please, keep it professional. Do what you're going to do, but do it the right way. And I have another video coming up when it comes to nightlife, and that shit is just out of control. Y'all, I don't know what the fuck's going on, y'all. You all spend, you know how much money it costs to get a liquor license some places? In some cities, it's ridiculous amount of money to get a liquor license. It's ridiculous amount of money to get the zoning and inspections done, and the health inspections, and the goddamn police department that wants to come by and they want you, if you have a high capacity club, they want you to get off duty cops and security, and you have all this other shit, and you all act like, oh no, I just put some money down and I open up a nightclub. Yeah, okay, and then there'll be a shooting 2 weeks later and you have to close the shit again. Come on now, either do this shit right or don't do it at all. Anyway, that's it. I'm done for the day. Fuck.